So I think it's safe to say by this point, we are officially on the hype train for Halo Infinite. By this point, everyone is pretty excited for the game, and it's rumored that the game is apparently going to launch on November 15th, aka tomorrow while I'm recording this. But it's safe to say that so far, Halo Infinite is looking like it could potentially be 343's big comeback for the Halo franchise. However, this news, of course, triggered our favorite console gaming grifter, Crapgamer, yet again. And ever since the Halo Infinite campaign overview, I think a week or two back, he has been desperately trying to squash out all hype whatsoever for this game. Like, the motherfucker literally even made a review of Call of Duty Vanguard, straight up saying that the game was better than both Battlefield 2042 and Halo Infinite. And while this would be fine in other scenarios, in the scenario that he has been trying to loop Halo Infinite into every single one of his videos, also he can kill hype, I think it's definitely looking a bit sus. And I think you can all imagine what he's done for this particular video, so let's just get into it, shall we now?
Shut your fucking hole!
When it's all said and done, we don't really know how the Xbox Game Pass situation is going to play out long term for Microsoft. How viable is it? Is it really teaching people that buying games isn't the right thing to do? Does Microsoft want people to buy games?
Yes. Yes, they do. Game Pass is literally just a system that allows you to have multiple games at a time for a trial. However, you can still choose to buy those games while you're subscribed to Game Pass. Here's the way he's making it sound. Hey, you want to get a game all on its own without anything extra? You know what? Fuck you. Just pay for Game Pass. That's like going to McDonald's and then saying, oh my god, they're forcing me to get the Big Mac meal instead of just the Big Mac. No, you can still get the Big Mac on its own.
Do third parties plan to support this in the future?
I mean, considering that Game Pass has helped to get new players to certain companies and their games, like Bungie with Destiny 2, I'd say yes, the answer would be third-party companies are most definitely going to support Game Pass.
There's a lot of unanswered questions, folks, and I think I'm one of the few people that actually ask the tough questions to begin with, and I feel like, in particular, we get a little bit clearer picture when something like this comes out. This is big news for Sony and bad news for Microsoft. I can't wait to get into this topic. Once again, this is going to be a video you don't want to miss.
I don't know about that. I could easily just click off the video and end this recording here, then proceed to go ahead and jack off for the rest of November. But hey, NNN, can't do that.
Hey there everyone, I'm the Crapgamer, and this of course is Crapgamer Reviews.
I know I said this on my first video on Crapgamer, but why the fuck is this man literally just, oh my god, why is he doing his intro 2 minutes into the video?
Now, when it comes to buying games, this is a subject that a lot of people are going to talk about for a significant amount of time. Now, the interesting thing about this is there are around 14 million PlayStation 5s in the world and something like 7 to 8 million Xbox Series X and S's. So that's a little bit of a gap right there.
Man, I hate to sound like a college professor right here, but I'm gonna need a source and citation, please.
Not as bad, as some might have predicted, and worse than the Xbox One PS4 era, if you think about it, where it took Sony 3 months to get, they did it 3 months faster to 10 million than Xbox did, and Xbox One was really getting trashed by the media and everybody and everyone in between. But Game Pass had introduced a new dynamic to this whole situation, and that dynamic is kind of a strange one. So, for instance, people keep saying this isn't an accurate way to look into sales of Xbox games, but Call of Duty is the #1 physical boxed selling game in the UK. And again, this is something that is showing a huge difference between PlayStation and Xbox. So, according to this, PlayStation consoles are clearly the lead platforms when it comes to initial physical Call of Duty sales.
First off, citation please. Second, you're using Call of Duty of all games to measure console sales. That's like trying to use sales numbers of, I don't know, red meat to see how Wendy's and McDonald's are doing against each other. I know there's a lot of analogies between fast food companies at this point, but whatever, I'm bored.
Following the global launch of the new Call of Duty installment last week, physical sale numbers are now dripping in. As reported by Game Industry Biz, Activision's new entry in the series ended FIFA's domination in the UK, and interestingly, 70% of the game's digital sales were on PlayStation platforms combined, with Sony's next-gen console being the lead platform when it comes to physical sales as well, solely outselling the Xbox Series X, S, and Xbox One versions of the game combined.
Holy shit, boys, he did it! He provided a source! Let's fucking go! Yep, Crapgamer, you're now passing your college essay. I'm proud of you, son. Okay, but jokes aside, who the hell actually measures, like, console sales based off of a fucking Call of Duty?
70% of Call of Duty Vanguard's launch sales were on PlayStation platforms, 41% PS5, 29% PS4, according to Game Industry's Christopher Drain. And Xbox One was at 19% and 11% on Xbox Series X and S. Of course, nowadays the Call of Duty franchise is sold a lot digitally, and the UK has been along primarily a PlayStation market, but still these initial actual physical figures shows how much more prevalent next gen is for PlayStation. Obviously, Vanguard is going to be a big selling game. When bringing this up on social media, however, I had people kind of attack me, stating that Xbox fans were just waiting for Halo and Battlefield, but I highly suspect that Battlefield is also going to sell extremely well on PlayStation 5 and better on PlayStation 5 than it does Xbox, despite the fact that Xbox is quote-unquote the console for Battlefield this year. I just feel like no matter what, people are going to flock to it on PlayStation, and it's going to help PlayStation sell, even better.
Okay, so part of me kind of agrees with this statement, as people primarily buy gaming consoles and even gaming PCs in order to play third-party games most of the time. Like, I know a lot of people spout bullshit that, like, oh, I only bought PlayStation for the exclusives, or oh, I only bought Xbox for Halo, but in reality, most of the most played games on both platforms end up being third-party games. However, it's still a stupid idea to try and use game sales to determine how well a console sold. Now, this is me after scrolling through a few minutes of the video. It turns out Crapgamer literally just threw Halo Infinite into the title to piss people off, and then proceeds to read out sales charts for absolutely no reason.
When it comes down to it. Now, when it comes to Halo, yes, a free-to-play Halo multiplayer is going to put a lot of players in the wild on the game at first, and then we'll have to look and see. Like I've been saying all along, let's wait and see February, March of next year, where everything's kind of laid out, and we'll have a better idea of how things are going. I think people are going to be kind of surprised by it.
You see, there's two scenarios I see when it comes to Halo Infinite. Either the launch has a shitload of content and players decide to stay because they enjoy the content, or the game launches with barely enough content and people will start leaving the game. Of course, there's still a steady trickle of players inside, but it's definitely a lot less than what it could have been. However, Crapgamer here doesn't seem to want to pick a particular option in regards to the game, so guess I had to pick for him, eh?
So Call of Duty Vanguard is number 1 in the UK box charts, comfortably ending FIFA at the top. Activision shooter primarily sold very well on the PlayStation platform, which is, again, one of the things that we keep seeing work out well. Now, why can't Xbox get a grip on things that they used to have a really good hold upon?
How the hell are the sales of Activision and the sales of Xbox and PlayStation even remotely connected? And why did you feel the need to clickbait about Halo Infinite and then proceed to not even talk about Halo Infinite as the main topic of your video?
In 2020, Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War has a physical launch sale, fall 64% over the previous year's Modern Warfare, but digital accelerated by 39%. So it's hard to draw a conclusion 100%, but Call of Duty is the big one. There are a few other named titles like this in the pack where some of this sort of leads to. So last week, number 2, Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, which falls to number 6 after a 64% sales drop week on week. Mario Party Superstars, which also launched last week, holds number 3. Overall, it's a strong week for Switch, but also you can't discount a good week on PlayStation 5 due to PlayStation 5 stock levels, which means Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales jumps 12 places to number 5 after a 342% sales jump. Immortals Phoenix Rising returns to the trend to number 12 after a 652% sales rise. This was a result of some price discounting, but also a PlayStation 5 bundle at retailers shop too. So basically it went like this: Call of Duty Vanguard, FIFA 22, Mario Party Superstars, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Spider-Man Miles Morales, Guardians of the Galaxy, Animal Crossing New Horizons, Minecraft Switch, Fortnite Minty Legends Pack, Far Cry 6. So basically, things are pretty status quo. PlayStation 5 continues to sell extremely well, and PlayStation will continue probably to be home of multi-platform third-party games. I mean, honestly, they're selling a load of them, and it makes a ton of sense for this to be the case. You love to see, people support the console, first of all. You also love to see people support developers and the video games themselves. Now, what kind of impact will this have, down the road? I don't know what kind of impact this is going to have. It's hard saying. Does it mean anything? Well, it might mean something, it might not. So many things are kind of unknown at this point, and it really does kind of just make you want to kind of watch and see how it plays out. People think that I hate Xbox or whatever. Hopefully that is kind of clear that I don't. But even with that being said, if you love console gaming, if you love Xbox, then you want Xbox games to sell. So basically, things are pretty status quo. PlayStation 5 continues to sell extremely well, and PlayStation will continue probably to be home of multi-platform third-party games. I mean, honestly, they're selling a load of them, and it makes a ton of sense for this to be the case. You love to see, people support the console, first of all. You also love to see people support developers and the video games themselves. Now, what kind of impact will this have, down the road? I don't know what kind of impact this is going to have. It's hard saying. Does it mean anything? Well, it might mean something, it might not.
Mate, let me just say this. First off, PlayStation is not going to become the king of multi-platform gaming. That's like saying Xbox will do the same. Also, stop being ambiguous here. Just give us a clear answer. Give us a clear answer on what you think third-party games will think of whatever it is you're rambling about. I already lost track of what you're rambling about, especially since you can't seem to decide on that yourself. Like, I've already had enough of a shitty week, crap, and I'm probably about to start another shitty week. Please, do not intensify my suffering.
So many things are kind of unknown at this point, and it really does kind of just make you want to kind of watch and see how it plays out. People think that I hate Xbox or whatever. Hopefully that is kind of clear that I don't.
Yeah, I'ma just press a fat fucking X to doubt there, especially since a good portion of your videos are literally you shitting on Xbox.
But even with that being said, if you love console gaming, if you love Xbox, then you want Xbox games to sell. You want the platform to sell. Pretending that the sales of this stuff don't matter and the game sales don't matter is a huge disservice to everyone involved.
You gotta love how he's acting like a fucking doomsday prophet here. As though low sales from a fucking third-party developer, not even a product that Microsoft themselves are making, is somehow going to kill Xbox.
Because clearly, all this stuff does matter, and you don't think third parties are paying attention to this stuff? I mean, it could be why we see games like Forspoken not have a problem being exclusive to PlayStation 5 for years, or Final Fantasy VII Remake. These could all play into it. Like, if PlayStation gamers buy games, and they do, versus Xbox gamers who doesn't look like they're buying a ton of games. Now, listen, I'm not saying nobody on Xbox buys games, but when you compare it to what's happening on PlayStation, I think that there is a drastic, dangerous situation going on there. And hopefully that could be fixed and rectified before too long, because I don't want to see a situation where people are skipping the Xbox, because that's not good for anybody.
Dude, it is literally a plastic box that plays games. How does this run so deep for you? I genuinely cannot understand console fanboys. And, just why? Why does it go this fucking deep for you? I don't care if you're Xbox or Sony or PC or Nintendo or whatever. Why does this run so fucking deep? Like, you are literally acting as though a piece of plastic not selling as well as you hoped is suddenly the end of the fucking world. It does not run this deep. Anyway, dear God. Yeah, I think that's more than I could take today. I'm just gonna go to bed and pray that Halo Infinite actually drops the multiplayer tonight. Bye-bye.
I fucking hate clowns.